Hey guys, it's Jared with the Experienced Southern Illinois podcast, and I am joined with my co-host today,
Allison Hasler with Southern Illinois Vacation Rentals.
And we are blessed to be in Alto Pass again today, but we are joined with our friends, Scott and Jenny Schroeder of Peachbarn. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
And thanks for having us over at your place.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, so we want to know what got you into the Peachbarn Winery? What led you here?
Well, our story's probably a little different than most.
Yeah.
We, as our youngest was getting close to graduating high school, we were literally sitting in our living room one day and, hey, would we ever go anywhere? What do we want to do when the kids are gone? We both had careers up there. Literally, it just came down to, I said, sure, I'll go if I can find my own hunting ground, my own little piece of ground.
We have a little bit of that down here.
Yep.
Now let me pause. Where is up there?
Oh, up there is Central Illinois, north of Champaign, between Champaign and Kankakee.
Okay.
Watsika is the little town we're from.
Watsika.
So that led into what do you want? Well, I was looking at Jenny here.
Well, it started with drinking wine.
These are wine conversations.
No, I was drinking wine and you were drinking beer. You weren't even a wine drinker yet.
So she said, I'd like to have a winery. She was coming down here to the wine trail in Southern Illinois for
Many years
beforehand, and it was literally like, yeah, right, that's not really feasible. But,
And when was these conversations happening as far as year? Yeah. What
so-
year-ish were these conversations starting to
it was probably
happen?
2019.
Yes.
Okay.
Because-
Early 2019.
Yeah, we literally flipped open the laptops.
It was very early 2019.
And I was looking at hunting properties. She was looking
End
at
of
wineries,
18
and
into 19, yes.
this one popped up, 50 acres with a winery already established, and honestly, we're like, let's just go look at it. And that's honestly, it went that quick. We came down, looked at it, met the owners. We didn't put a whole lot of thought into
It took a good year. It took
Well,
really...
Yeah, at the end of that year, it was ours.
But yes, I used to come to the trail with friends. Well, I came to SIU to visit friends back in the day then and fell in love with Southern Illinois then. We did the whole, it was Inspiration Point and the Spillway. Those are my biggest memories from the college years. Loved it. And then later for the wine trail, had friends that we started coming as a group for many years. So this was always my happy place.
That's all I was going to say.
Jared,
when you visited down here, did you actually come to this winery specifically? Because this was something else before it was Peachbarn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This was a Swedish restaurant and winery. They were more fine dining, just amazing food, had a great reputation for their food, and also they had vineyards that we have now and made wine. So our very first visit to the trail, our first day we came here, we were sent here to eat.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So
I had no
full
idea.
circle. Wow.
Yeah.
It
Had
wasn't-
no idea.
Everybody
Isn't that
laughs at
crazy?
our story.
That
They're
is.
like, really? You just decided to do it? I'm like, yeah, we literally.
We got nudged. We got a little divine nudge. I came down with a little mild case of breast cancer, and it was because we were kind of in that someday we'll do this mode.
Sure.
And then that happened, and we were just like, okay, maybe we'll do it sooner than later.
Yeah, maybe there won't be a someday. So,
So then this all came up, and it literally all fell into place.
Wow.
So did you have any farming background or ag background or anything like that before coming into this?
I mean, nothing that really would have helped the vineyard and the orchard. I mean, where we're from, it's corn and soybeans. So, I hauled in several loads of grain and turned some dirt up there when I was younger, but nothing like this. So, no, that was we learned a little bit from the owners the first harvest, I guess their harvest down here, and then simply hired a consultant to help with the vineyard, and then another one to help make wine, because I didn't know, like she said earlier, I just drink beer, I didn't drink wine then. We actually got two. They were both off the wine trail.
Yes.
And they've been a blessing.
They have. We literally, in our dreams, we thought, well, we probably don't want to stay in Illinois. We'll look else, we'll look around, we'll take our time. But I kept coming back to this wine trail, because as a customer for many years, I could literally see how they sort of worked well together. You know, and it just rounded out the whole idea with loved the area, you know, just loved this gorgeous area. And then have loved every winery I used to go to, all these memories, and I could just tell that they worked together and we wanted to be a part of that. We didn't really see that anywhere else.
Wow, that's really awesome. And I understand the thought of like, oh, we could move anywhere in the world.
Right.
And then my husband and I moved to Southern Illinois because we were visitors for so long and fell in love with it. And it was kind of an easy decision, you know, in hindsight that.
I don't think most people realize how beautiful it is down here. I mean, this is a whole different part of the state. I mean, it's totally different than anywhere else in Illinois. Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Preach.
Right?
It's,
yes.
I will.
Amen.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and the more you explore, it's like the more you realize you had no idea what Illinois had in store down here. How instrumental has being part of the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail been in your process of learning the ropes and stuff like that?
Oh, I don't
couldn't have done it without
them 100%. I mean, like I said, the people that we had help us out in the beginning, we couldn't outsource that from somewhere else. I mean, they know the area. You know, the grapes grow differently in different regions. You know, they didn't know what grapes to plant. The chemicals, you know, anything we use that works well here, you know, they've done it. Yeah, there's no way we could have done it without them.
No amount of YouTube videos would have accomplished.
Now we're all, you know, a bigger group and work together, and we have round tables and stuff. We discuss things, you know, in the winemaking part and in the vineyards too. But yeah, there's absolutely no. I don't think we all need each other. 100%. It's a whole group effort. It's pretty cool, actually. It's pretty cool.
So I want to go back to the time frame that you purchased, which is 2019.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's fast forward 1 year.
Yeah.
And
it was 2 days before Christmas.
What was going through your mind? Probably not even a full year fresh in, and like
Pandemic.
what the heck? It was just
actually it was 3 whole months.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it was like towards the end of 2019 that and then because it was March of 2020 is really when the big shutdown was happening. So it was like, was there buyer's remorse, or was it like
no,
we're just going to take one day at a time? Like, what was going through your minds at that time? Was it okay?
Weirdly,
it was probably
a little beneficial, sort of. It gave us pause, so we were like, gave us a minute to, what did we just do? What did we get into?
We just kept the ball rolling what they had. We just
we
closed on a day and we picked up the next day.
Yeah.
And we just like, what is going on here?
So it gave us pause. You know, we had a minute. You know, we lived separately then. I was still finishing high school with our youngest, 4 hours away. So that was a huge challenge. So that helped. That was a little bit of a bridge for that. But it also allowed us to have a minute to think, and then a big excuse to rebrand and sort of reinvent ourselves in this.
And what would that look like to somebody that had been here, say, 15 years ago, or 10 years ago, versus 2 years ago, or today?
Sure. So, I mean, Hedman's did just an amazing job rehabbing this whole 1946 barn. It's
a beautiful barn.
It's gorgeous.
Love it.
We love it.
Oh, yeah.
And most everyone would remember being in the basement here, which was their initial part of their business. And it was cozy and quaint and, you know, little hole in the wall. So it was very different then. So it was exclusively downstairs. It could hold 35 people. And we're talking, you know, a finer dining table service sort of thing. But, you know, it clearly limited in capacity and, you know, not much room to grow. And then fast forwarding, the Hedmans actually rehabbed this whole level of the barn. So they literally worked their way into the barn. It started out as a barn, and they took a horse stall and converted that to a kitchen.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part of the story.
I love telling people, your food's cooked in a horse stall, but don't worry, we clean it.
Welcome to Southern Illinois.
Yes. The vacation rental suite that's in the basement, we're told has been anywhere from a manure pit to a produce holder. Our neighbor tells us, brags how he used to run his cows in the basement here.
Oh my gosh, that's
So
that's
it's
amazing.
Barn,
it's changed
years and years ago.
significantly. But then yes, Hedman's redid this floor, and it's gorgeous. And so ever since the pandemic, we've exclusively used this main floor as our retail space.
Yeah.
Well,
And not
business has
downstairs.
picked up too, so we need the floor space. And once COVID, we moved everything outside when we were able to open up to be outside for a while. That was a quick shock. Okay, we can be open today. Now we don't have nothing outside. We don't have a table, so we literally just moved everything outside into a patio area out there. And then once we cleaned up the area downstairs where it was dining, it's like, oh, we need that extra
This
room for growth ourselves.
workspace,
And then
yeah.
this was open. It just didn't use it that much. I think they only had it open maybe one on Saturdays or something, if I remember right. And then we're like, hey, this is what's built for this is what we need. So then we moved up here and never looked back.
It's a little more casual up here, and
Yeah.
we have
Yeah, you
live
get the bar
music.
experience inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious, did you have any friends or family down here before you moved down here?
We did not.
Okay.
We did not.
What
We
what has it been like building your Southern Illinois community over that time? What has your experience been like?
It's been amazing. We've been embraced and supported very much. We're so happy and proud to be part of the community here.
Well, you guys
It's
are,
like a dream.
you guys are definitely an asset to this community.
Thank you.
And yeah,
you.
it's been really cool working with all of the wineries and stuff like that, and seeing just how different each one is, how you guys work together, but then also how different and autonomous you can be at the same time as well too. It's really cool. So
I think that's what makes the wine trail so cool is each one has its own little niche.
Yeah.
So you're not getting the same experience everywhere.
Yeah.
I just think that's the cool part of it. Go to an old barn or go to a big fancy place, or
Yeah.
some are a lot smaller. It's just so much, so many different things to offer. I think it's great.
and not only is there quite a few wineries in this area, but we talked about with Alto Vineyard, when we talked with them, you also have Havisham Bourbon Bar right down the road as well too. You've got Rendleman Orchards
Yeah.
right down the road. What are some of your favorite non-winery places to go in Southern Illinois?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Our living room couch. Yeah, we don't take a whole lot of time, but
we actually like, because it's close and we know the owners and they're great,
Oh.
is Macy's Place, which is outside of Murfreesboro.
just down the road.
It's kind of a little
Yeah.
windy road from our place, unless we jumped on the highway.
It's a fun drive.
It's a nice little ride to relax.
It's really tucked back there and so unsuspecting when you
It
come
is.
Yeah,
up
it
on
is.
it. You're
It
just
is.
woods, and then it's just this pretty cool little eclectic looking restaurant sitting
Little
off to the
oasis
side.
in the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
in the
nice.
woods.
Yeah.
We love taking people to the Bald Knob Cross.
Yeah.
We can see it pretty much from the property, but it's another beautiful drive, and the view up there, we really love showing that off.
Yeah. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially even the hills out here. I obviously do a lot of drone work and stuff
Yes,
in
you
Southern
do.
Illinois, and doing some of the drone videos out here at Rendleman. And even when I go all the way over to Von Jakob, I can still see the cross in the background, and just you start, especially around fall when the trees start changing colors and you start going through those hills, and it's just
It is gorgeous.
you're transported.
Yeah.
It's like the colors that you think of on the East Coast, on the Northeast Coast and stuff like that. We're getting down here, and it's awesome. So you are the Peach Barn.
We are.
Yes. I want to hear about the rebranding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so Right. So we thought, well, we'll embrace the vibe of the barn, and the barn was built in 1946. So we sort of chose that Art Deco era with our branding, and just embrace the obvious. Peachbarn. So originally, the entire farm was a peach orchard. And then Hedman's came along and did what they did. And their first, when they were more of a restaurant, about at the time they were starting to plant grapevines, they called it the Peachbarn Cafe. So we thought, we'll go with that and highlight the peach orchard or the peach of it, and then throw in, the 1946, 1950s. So that's how our labels sort of reflect that vibe.
Nice.
This area up here, it was actually the processing part for the peaches.
Oh, really?
So when they would
Okay.
pick out in the orchard and bring it in here, then they had a couple doors out the front that you would, I guess, bring the peaches in, and there was I don't know what it was actually called, but it somehow processed them and packaged them somehow, and then they'd sell them out the other door. So it was just kind of a no-brainer. We talked about names for a long time, and it's like we just can't not call it the Peach Barn. That's what it is.
Sure.
So that's what we stuck with.
And do any of your wines actually have peaches in them? And maybe I'm asking the obvious question. Maybe not.
It's not so obvious,
Actually,
Okay.
but it turns out
it's a great question.
it is a great question. So, and we pull in, like we said, each winery has their own niche. So Pomona, clearly no grapes.
Right.
They do apples, and then their dessert wines, which are amazing.
Strawberry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
So our peach wine is 100% peach.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's no grapes in it
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it's a lot of peach wine will be
From our
concentrated
peach orchard.
with peach flavoring, mixed with probably a white wine. But we actually use peaches, 100% peaches. The first year, little side nugget, the first year that we did that, we actually won the Governor's Cup
Really?
Nice. Congratulations.
for the peach wine.
Your naturals.
He did that.
Yeah, so
I don't
that
get
was
to
pretty
play
cool.
that
That kind of
was
put
a
us on the map
big
for the
boost,
peach
yeah.
wine.
This old beer drinker just going up
Yeah.
and the governor's going to do his first wine.
Isn't that hard? Which, it kind of is. But
Kind of is.
Yeah, I always say that day the judges, I was probably the only peach wine in the category, and they always remember they said 100 wines. I'm like, oh, well, that peach wine is pretty good. Let's just give them a gold
How about
star.
how much, when you're processing peaches compared to grapes, the difference in literal, like hands-on manual labor?
It's just probably why most people don't do the peach.
Yeah, that's why.
Pit in there, and that pit's an
Oh,
issue.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you get that pit out of there. It's just a lot more labor intense to get it to juice it. And the amount of juice you get off of big old peach, it just takes a lot of peaches to make wine in a bigger volume. I mean, we usually sell out simply because I can only make so much of it with time and the peach and get the peaches.
Sure.
So you said that your wine is 100% peach. Is that all of them, or some of them grapes and some of them peach? And
Actually, just the we've only got one now because we're
Right.
sold out. But we make a dry peach wine and then a sweet peach wine. And the rest of our wines, are grapes
All
grown
grape.
here.
Okay.
They're all grape wines.
okay,
Like reds and whites.
And everything's 100% estate grown.
That's
So it's only
awesome.
what we have on site.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Did you get grafted in any recipes or anything like that, or did you just from scratch kind of?
No, so the previous owner did have a peach wine, and it was more of a dessert wine. I
They had a
believe.
table wine also
They had a table wine, I
that
guess.
was gone by the time.
So as far as recipes goes, no, not really. It wasn't like, hey, follow this process and this is what it'll be. Kind of took that and then again, with help, come up with what we, a lot of tasting, a lot of this is going to work. This is not gonna
least
work.
help though for the peach, because no one in the area really has not made a peach wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a little more challenging.
And I'm finding out through these podcast interviews just how intensive the the process is of making wine. I did not realize how time consuming, how long the process is. So with trying to figure out those recipes, is it how long did it take you to like really iron out the?
You know, it wasn't really like I said, a recipe or a timing. If I just to sum it up, what seemed simple to me was good quality fruit means, so that's the whole year of keeping that fruit the best you can to get it to the best it will be. In any given year could change that, dry, wet, whatever. Keeping the vineyard program top notch, and then when it comes down to making wine, for me there's no secret. It's just got to start with good fruit and then continue through the process of good clean habits. I'm not tweaking it with stuff to make it taste any different. Obviously, on the sweeter wines, that's just simply back sweeten it with sugar to get the sweeter taste. Some grapes, they're naturally sweet, but they're going to come across dry for most people, and some people want the dry. I mean, real wine drinkers want dry wines. They know the sweet is just sweetened up. Sweet sells, so you got to have that too. But no, it's simply just good fruit, grapes, peaches in our case. And then keeping the process clean. I mean, sanitation. I mean, just everything has to be cleaned, and stay on top of it. I mean, it's not a 9 to 5 job to where it's 10 to 5. Let's go ahead and unhook the pumps and quit messing with wine today. We'll pick it up in the morning. No, you got to go until at least we do.
Until the wine tells you it's done.
Until it's in the different tank or whatever we're doing that day. And then yes, when it comes time to put it in the bottle, it's when it's ready. We go through that every season. I need mine. I gotta have it. I got it. We're out. And I'm like, it's not ready. It's not. And it's just tasting it, and it gets there. And then that's when you put it in the bottle.
It's like making a prime rib, It's like it's got to go through its thing, and once it's out, it's out.
Otherwise it's going to be a terrible piece of meat you just spend a lot of money on. So, that's to me. If I was going to give anybody some advice, that's the secret. Just don't rush it and keep it clean.
Yeah.
Your process.
Do you have employees here that are making the wine also, or so are you guys solely the wine makers?
Yep.
Just winemaker.
Oh, singular.
He gets to do the fun stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
The winemaker and the vineyard guy.
And then
he's the outside. I'm the inside.
Okay.
Smart. I'm just kidding.
It works out well for
keep
us.
him outside. Yeah.
First year, going back to our first 2 years, I guess, here when we still had a place up north going back and forth. It was right away. I was not going to be the inside person. We had our employees.
He's not the retail face, the face of the company.
That was her. I would come in and get them going, and they're on the phone with her. Hey, he said, do this today. She's like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're doing it. So my ideas were a little bit different, and it worked out well.
Well, it takes a team. So
for sure.
You guys are doing awesome. So you guys also do some events out here as well too. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the past events that you've done? Anything you have coming up?
Sure.
Yeah.
We live music every weekend. That's probably right up there. Besides the wine, has been my passion, is the music, and I just love that part of it too. I love seeing people really enjoying themselves with really good music and our wine and such. We have Burke's Family Alpacas come twice a year. They'll be back in September. That's not when they're coming. Sorry.
Alpacas are here.
You know, right, arriving. But yeah, they come a couple times a year. We're not a whole lot. We don't do a lot of. We haven't done really the paint and sip type thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I believe we're going to have a National Pirate Day in September also, and have a silly pirate entertainment show.
That's awesome.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I think that's September 20th, I believe.
That's awesome. So, who do you have coming up with music and stuff like that? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay. This weekend is being Memorial Day weekend, the holiday, so got Bill Harper on Friday. Saturday is actually a newcomer. They're called the Mudhounds. Deep Delta Mississippi Blues or something is how they tout themselves. I'm really looking forward to hearing them. And then Sunday is the Whiskey Chicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are these all local, regional?
Friday and Sunday are very local, and we have them periodically. Saturday, they're not from the area.
Okay.
But sounds like they'll be fun.
How do you find your musical guests?
Oh my gosh, I don't have to search.
That's not a challenge.
There's no shortage, right?
The phone rings off.
That's the other thing about this area. We talk about
so
that.
So many talented musicians.
Yes, it is crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we turn away probably more than. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wish we could have music every single day, but you got to have the crowd to be here for it. So
I want to throw in a subtle plug for the Southern Illinois Made Talent Show that we have coming up.
Yes, please.
Before the expo, talking about talented musicians and stuff like that. It's one of the things we haven't talked about on the wine podcast, but the winery, the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail, is actually part of the Southern Illinois Made Expo this year.
Yes.
Which is going to be the day after that music competition. But all of, just to get this news out there, all of the proceeds are going to the Marion VA Food Pantry, as well as Down the Leash. It always goes to veterans organizations and stuff like that. But
I love that.
Something that's cool that we're doing this year, Allison's involved. She's one of the judges on it, is the Southern Illinois Made Talent Show, where we're showing off, we wanted to elevate and kind of show off the music scene down
love
here.
that.
And it's the more and more it's like the state parks and the Shawnee National Forest. The more you dig into it, the more you realize there's
it
some gems.
I was blown away. It was like, holy smokes.
I think those are amazing. Those are great causes. I just love this.
Yeah, and it's so much fun getting to show off what we make down here and what kind of talent we have down here, what kind of views we have down here and stuff like that, all the awesome places to stay. And
right.
So, I would, sorry, I'm blanking right now.
It happens.
I'm cutting this.
We had the one girl play here that was on, I think she did one of the American Idol voices or whatever. She did part of that, so I mean that's a local.
Yeah,
she's a local girl that did. Yeah,
we have
she's good too.
Tons of local talent. Luckily, my job is done. My responsibility as a judge is done, and so the competition portion, now that they've made it through the judges round, is going to be by popular vote.
Yeah.
That is for the live competition, just like they do
on the Friday night. Then the night. Okay.
Yep. Which the night before, and it'll be at Little Nashville the night before.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
And we're still rolling out details. And not to hijack the podcast about this, but it is exciting that it's all kind of encompassing and stuff like that. But
it is.
It will be a ticketed event, and it actually will be live streamed by Swinford Media.
Okay.
We actually have the Spiel working with us, who does a network television show, and so having them help us with the production on this thing, it's been a lot of fun. I've got to look at some of the audition tape and putting some of that together, and it's just awesome to see the people of Southern Illinois coming together to show off these things. And so I want to go back to, because what got us started with all of this is the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail again. So as you guys have grown as kind of your own thing, there's been some new wineries that have come in even since then. Have you found yourself kind of turning the corner of being the new guys? And
we have.
Yeah.
We have.
I guess it kind of just did.
Yeah.
And
No longer
never really
the new
thought
kids
about it
on the
that way,
block.
but yeah, we're not the new guys. Any new kids
Right.
on the block anymore.
I was going to say, just 4 or 5 years ago, you guys probably very much felt that way. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you're currently the president of the.
Well, yeah, we just take our turns.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to feel comfortable? Like, where you're not learning it anymore, you're kind of mastering it.
Oh boy.
Or is it always a learning process?
Yeah, winemaking.
The winemaking process, I don't know if you ever feel comfortable, because every year is different, and any little problem could pop up that luckily I've not ran across yet. But yeah, I don't know if you ever really get comfortable, honestly.
Sure.
And actually, you just brought that up, but what, just for instance, this year, the year that we've had already so far, like I remember it started to get warm, but then the ground froze again. And I remember somebody saying like, oh, this is not going to be good for the grapes, or something like that. I'm like,
not to mention ice storms.
Yes,
this
that's
winter.
ice storms. Yeah, exactly. And that's
More
just stuff.
snow than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our less than 6 years, we did have a season where we didn't get a crop.
Oh, really?
Very,
Yeah,
very
so
little crop.
talk about,
Because from late freeze.
And
yeah.
when your model is, estate grown,
Right.
meaning we don't outsource
Yeah.
fruit. So yeah, every year is that weather anxiety.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so with the freezes that we had and stuff, everything right now as far as like your production and stuff, is everything kind of where it was
Everything's
at?
back on schedule now, yeah. Like you brought up with the freezes, the biggest thing is it got warm early. That'll get the vine thinking, okay, well, now it's time to come out, from being dormant, and here we go.
Yeah.
And then luckily it cooled down enough to where, that didn't happen. But it was a little, because we weren't done pruning, we weren't quite ready.
I heard people getting worried, and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and it was that just 2 or 3 years ago when
The bad
because
one.
even the orchards in the area,
Yeah.
the bigger orchards, the Randlemans and
Mhm.
Flames, there was hardly any peaches that year. And that was simply because it got cold with a frost after they'd already budded out. That just kind of kills them.
What's more sensitive, the grapes or the peaches, to weather?
Well, I'm gonna say the peaches because the grapes will. That first bud will come out, and if it gets damaged, they'll throw a second one, a secondary later. And if that one gets damaged, they'll actually throw it's called a tricery one after. But each time it does that, the quantity really drops down. So to not have any grapes, that's that year that we had a bad crop. That's simply because there was some fruit out there, but you didn't want to overwork the vine because if you forced it to do something. Prune it back or
Stress
whatever
it
to
out.
get more to try to get what in the long run you're hurting the vine. So yeah, we actually had a little bit, but we kind of let the critters have most of it just because we didn't want to push it too hard. Critters, meaning the deer, and everything goes along. Everything else that likes the sweet stuff, they're out there getting the vineyard to do. So to answer your question, definitely I would say the peaches. They're once they don't bud out,
One and done.
That's all they get.
Oof.
So
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine those big outfits not having a crop at all? That was
Yeah.
probably pretty devastating.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear the way you describe the plants. You're like, I don't want to stress it out. I don't want to overwork it, almost like it's got its own personality and character. And you probably realize over time.
Well, it does. I mean, I could literally tell you I've touched and talked to everyone out there. Come on,
The best horticulturists, they talk to their
Yeah.
plants.
Right.
I'm only worried when it starts talking back. When
Yeah.
it's,
You probably tasted too much wine that day. You need to get out there earlier. Don't be sampling in the morning.
Yeah.
so, speaking of sampling,
Oh,
Yes.
we've got some wine sitting in front of us. We've got a charcuterie. You've got some other options and stuff
We
like
do.
that we talked
Yep.
about. You want to get into that?
yes, please.
All right, let's
and
do it.
I have some lightning round questions that I'll ask, but
okay.
we'll do that as we maybe head over to
Tasting?
the tasting and get things ready for you to talk about each one of the most popular wines that we get to sample
Okay.
today, and we'll get those questions answered.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay, so I have my lightning round questions, and this is going to be a very obvious answer, but one of the most common questions that we get asked is, at least as a host for Southern Illinois Vacation Rentals, is which wineries serve food? So I think we have our answer here, but I would like for you to tell us a little bit about that.
We definitely do. Honestly, we get same questions with customers in our door too, or they're looking for something a little more specific. Historically, when we started, we did have much more of a fuller menu with entrees and such. Definitely deviated from the Swedish that it was, kept a couple things. So we've scaled down now to primarily appetizers, the soup, and schoolhouse cheesecakes for dessert. Which I didn't put here yet, but we could. But we're actually still mostly homemade. So like we have our spinach artichoke dip that is handmade, bread and oil, dipping oil. I've got our cook came up with that on her own, and that's pretty amazing. We've got the lobster bisque that that's a leftover from the Hedman times.
Yeah.
Very, very popular. So we do still have that. We have more of a traditional charcuterie. Hedman's had, they called it a cheese platter and a sausage platter. They had exotic game sausage. We did hang on to that for a while. And their traditional platter had some very unique items on it that we didn't hang on to. It was very, very specific Swedish, but it was very unique and very good. So we've scaled back to some, primarily appetizers, like I said, and great dessert. But honestly, we'll send people to other, like Von Jakob has a great new German menu.
I actually just tried that 2 weeks ago because she's got a new chef there as well too, and it was fantastic. I actually had the salad, so that way I wasn't useless for the rest of the day on my lunch. But it was fantastic.
I prefer their useless food. It's really good.
Yeah. If it was dinner
Schnitzel
time,
was
it would have
great.
been a different story.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, they've got a great menu. So, and all of us have. Let me dial that back a bit. 9 or 10 of us have food to an extent, on a small level. Then we've got Feather Hills that has some good food to offer. Just a couple of the smaller ones, like your Hickory Ridge and Pomona, don't have theirs. Don't have food.
So, do you have a recommended pairing for your, say, the charcuterie board or the lobster bisque, or is it more of the wine complements everything that you have on the menu?
Of course, we like to say that too, but we actually molded our menu to reflect that and put some ideas behind each food item with some suggested pairings for that. So,
well, why don't you suggest our pairings?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I suggest that we start with the spinach artichoke dip. It comes hot, and we serve it with some tortilla chips and some bread. And we're going to pair that with our patina white, which is from our Chardonnay vineyard.
Okay.
So,
How many different vineyards do you have?
we have. Go ahead, you're on.
Right now, 4 different varieties of grapes.
Oh, here.
Chamberson, which is the most common in the area. That's very great. Does very well here growing. Chardonnay, Croix Noir, and I guess we did have Traminette, but the Traminette's vines
Died.
need to be replaced. We just pulled those. So it would be just those 4.
Okay.
And so this is made with the Chardonnay, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to say it's sort of like a Midwest Chardonnay.
Okay.
So when customers come in and say
Serve
they like
you.
their Chardonnay, then we pull out our Chardonnay.
Okay.
And this was the dry version of it. It's nice and crisp and clean. It's got a buttery finish.
Oh my gosh, the smell of the spinach artichoke is
I know. My husband's going to be super jealous.
Jealous?
When I'm eating homemade warm spinach and artichoke dip.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty.
And I think I'm going to try it on
We
a
have
piece
it
of
to go.
bread this time. I
Do you
will.
mind if I see those chips?
Sure thing.
Switching it up.
Do it. So typically you want to, when you're doing actually a pairing, you want to actually do your wine first.
Okay.
And get a good sense of the wine. Take your time as long as you want with your wine.
I just learned something new right there.
Yeah,
I did
so
too.
you want to know it alone, and then
Yep, we've learned through the process. You want to get the aromatics out. I didn't say that right.
perfect.
Yes.
That was expert.
Open it up a little bit.
There it is.
Yeah, you want to stir it up.
Maybe after getting through all of our association interviews, I'll remember something about
The process.
the process and the aroma.
So this is just grape, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Chardonnay.
Just Chardonnay.
I think it's a perfect time for Scott, winemaker Scott, to tell his story of when we lived back home and his buddies back home and how he.
I don't know if they want to hear this.
I think
We do.
they do.
I can promise you.
They do.
This is a funny story.
His little education of wine tasting to his back home buddies.
So, clearly the first year, I had no idea. That was 2020 when I went back. So I went back home for our deer camp. Be back with the buddies, the beer drinking buddies in the garages, and whatever. So now I'm the new winery owner, the winery guy coming into the sheds, So I grabbed some wine and took it back home, and of course they're all drinking beer, whatever. And so I set up a tasting, and they were probably Dixie cups. And I had them all, whoever was there, had them lined up. And so as we're doing the swirling, and that, so I've got each one of them. Can you pick it up in your Dixie cup? Swirl it.
Swirling in a Dixie cup.
I'm picturing this.
Okay, they're really paying attention, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I literally have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just probably watched this a couple times at other wineries. So I'm starting to have fun with it, and I'm like, some of them are like, I don't, I'm like, what you have to do with your left nostril. And they're like,
It's science. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I'm like, all right, now take a breath. I'll do it the right nostril. You smell that difference? And they're like, I think I can. It's a little sweeter smelling, right? Can you get that, that black cherry, that currant, that you get those. Yes. Okay. Take a little sip. I mean, I went through the whole thing, and then I got done. I'm like, I'm so full. Guys,
I can imagine my brothers and my friends from back home.
Smelling something
right?
different. That's not
Yes.
right.
I think we figured out why Scott's out in the field and Jenny's inside the customers.
Yeah. He'd be having the customers do handstands and drinking wine or something. And
Well, this is awesome, and it does pair really well together as well too. How do you determine if it's going to taste well with, is there certain dry is good with
there's little guidelines.
salty or
Savory and sweet sort of thing.
Okay.
Your whites are usually going with your fish dishes and red meats, weirdly, red wine and that kind of thing. And a lot of times, surprisingly, some, your sweeter ones will complement even more than the drier with certain foods. So, but the funnest part is the trial and error, I think.
Yeah.
Just taste it.
Your artichoke dip has a little tiny bit of kick to it, which makes it that much more
Hit
perfect.
the spot.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah, it's really popular.
Yeah, that's
So
excellent.
what is your most popular wine? Does it change? Or?
It does. That's a great question. It does change with the seasons. In the colder months, we'll sell more reds, and then when it's warmer, more white.
Okay. How much do you produce every year? How many bottles?
We're probably between 1,500 to 2,000 gallons.
Okay.
No, I don't know how many.
Bottles.
I don't know how many bottles. I couldn't.
And that's
I should know.
That's all you, right? You're as far as the.
He's it for winemaking.
In the setup we have with the tanks and everything, that's about where we should be, or I have the room for.
That's awesome.
For our size, it works fine for some. Most of our sales are out the door or online purchases. But we don't wholesale anything or outsource it anywhere else. So that's about what we need for here.
You bring up a good point. So, if somebody wants to get Peachbarn wine outside of the Peachbarn, where are you? You said, I think you said Havisham has some of your wine, carries some of your wine as well too.
Yep, they do.
They had our
pretty
peach
much
wine.
here.
Peach wine.
We're online. Yeah, we have on our website.
On your own website.
Yes.
Okay.
What is
we
that
have
website?
peachbarn.com.
Easy enough.
Very complicated, right?
Yeah.
So it can be shipped. We ship almost, most all the states. or pickup.
Yeah.
You know, we have club members that can also just do pickup and avoid the shipping cost. And then, you know, periodically we'll have sales that, you know, with no shipping. I think we do right now, 6 or more bottles.
I was going to say, do you do more sales inside the?
Definitely.
Yes.
In the
okay.
tasting room here, yes, we do, primarily. And we're not really out there because we were fairly small.
Okay.
On the wine trail, so we're not out in grocery stores or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody can't make that much.
Yeah,
Anything.
it's a production challenge.
They need a bigger facility back there to get it out into the wholesale market, I guess, the distribution part or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, and you know, you've talked about, you know, changing the menu from what it was previously, and you know, again, we've talked about how each winery is kind of its own thing, its own characteristic. I love that you guys have figured out what works for you guys, what you're passionate about. Obviously, it's working because you immediately won the Governor's Cup, you know, and I see, you know, when I come here, I see people in here all the time and stuff like that. So it's very cool, again, just to see the differences in each winery. This is personally a very enjoyable experience for me because now I've got research and development that I've done with the wineries.
It's got the inside.
That's right.
I can give
Inside
it an
editions.
informed, one of the most informed opinions, you know, going around and tasting all these. So what do you have as far as our next pairing? Sorry.
That's
Nope. I thought, well, I better
perfect timing.
get an empty glass here.
I'm going to take a drink of water.
Let's move to. We can all try some lobster bisque.
Oh, once again,
Right.
Michael is going to be so sad that he was not joining.
If you want to rinse out or
Yeah.
go in, whatever.
We should be good with
If you want to.
white to rosé for the moment, but
Okay.
yeah. You can rinse and toss or. So this is her rosé. It's from our Chamberson vineyard.
Okay.
Chamberson being a red grape, one of the most popular in the Midwest. Clearly done rosé style. So it's got the nice color.
Which means it's a different way of. So these grapes are picked. We pick them one day. If they don't get to process them that day, we'll chill them, and then I'll process them the next day. And they are crushed.
That down to you.
Crushed that day to get the juices out of. The difference between this pink color and when we get to the reds,
Deeper
these ferment on the skins. And
Okay.
and that just
Stay in
gets a
contact.
darker color, brings the color out more. And you get different tannins and different flavors doing it that way too. This is a more
Very brief contact with the grape
but
skin.
as far as the taste, I mean,
Oh.
it's more. I mean, I like the.
It's lighter,
It's very you know, more of a summer, not a summer drink, but
Yeah.
it's.
chilled, semi-sweet. It's got some strawberry and a little tart to it. It's been fun to see these change over the years. I think this one's a little less tart than last year's was.
Yeah. And would you consider the Chardonnay that we just had a semi-sweet as well, or
Dry.
It's a
It
dry.
is.
was
It was
definitely
a
a dry
dry
one.
Okay.
The only sweetness out of that was simply what the grapes.
That's
gave us that
delicious.
year.
Thank you.
I favor the dries, but it was delicious.
We do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite wine to make? What is
To make.
Yeah, what is there one that you're like, man, this process is a little bit easier, or remastered one?
The whites, all the whites, and the rosés, I would say would be the easier, simply because they're just less of a process. The peach we talked about, you got to get the pit out of there and go through all that. Peach is a little more finicky, like the pectins and everything that's in there. It's tougher to keep it stable as the process goes on. Running my tests and things on it. This year it threw me for a loop a couple times, and we had to get it back in balance. It was just, I have no idea why it didn't do it in the past.
Very moody.
It's moody. The reds, when you do them on the skins, that's just a little bit extra step. All those little things when you get tanks and barrels full of wine, you worry there's a lot of gallons in here that could go wrong. So I would say the whites and the rosés are a little easier, but it's all, I guess, relatively the same once you get it into the tanks and after fermentation on everything. Then it's pretty much just testing it all the time, making sure it's good, and filtering it and racking it and everything that goes along with all that.
Do the grapes and the peaches have the same harvest season time period, or?
Great question. No, actually, the peach is about, I'd say, a month ahead.
Okay.
So after the first couple of years, figuring out what worked good for our process in our facility, I found that the amount that we do works good because I can get it fermented, get it in.
Sure, kind of moved on.
And get it kind of there, out of sight, out of mind, and then get started with the grape harvest. Grape harvest for me is a lot longer. The peach harvest is pretty quick. Once the peaches turn, I have 2 different varieties. They're about 10 days apart. One's 10 days roughly harvested before the other ones. So it works out good to get the first batch done, moving on, and then grab that other one. And I can pick, that's probably just a 2-week process of getting that done. And then I get everything cleaned up, moved up, get the coolers moved around to where then I can start with the grape harvest. And that usually, that's like in July, on the peaches, and then the grape harvest starts usually around September 1st. Kind of the date we kind of shoot for. All depends on the weather and the year, but that's usually generally first week of September for the grapes that I have, and that could then drag all the way until October.
Oh wow!
Depends on how long you want to. And even like the Chardonnay, we can have an early pick. It's going to give you some different flavors, or go on and let them hang longer, and it gives you a whole different taste. Honestly, our place, the challenging thing with that is being so close to all the woods, which most of us are down here, is keeping the deer,
the critters,
we call them coons, and they just love
the Sasquatch.
So the sooner they get
exactly.
the
picking
more
grapes.
it burns, the more they're on them. So sometimes it just gets to the point where we don't have fence around. We don't put a fence up around our place. That would help that cause, but at some point you just gotta be, hey, we can't keep giving them all of it. I gotta have something for wine. So we gotta get out there
Can't
and
keep feeding the
we check the
wildlife.
brick numbers, which is the sugar, what the fruits guys, the sugar number. We call it bricks. So it's quite the process through the season.
I haven't had this in a while. This is way more fruit forward this year than that's the funnest part, because I really remember last year's vintage, and it was way more tart and bold, and this one's way more fruit forward.
It's the same process. It's just a different year.
It's just fun to see them.
Different weather conditions, different conditions and stuff like that. And that's why I was asking that question. Is I imagine if you're working on multiple different wines with multiple different processes, it may be difficult to like if you're starting a process, in the middle of a process, and finishing a process on 3 different wines. It's like
it would be. Along with that, it kind of just made me think, like, if you asked how we do things here, we're pretty simple, but I imagine if you were, I'm trying to think of a wine that everybody would know, probably comes from California or Italy or something, like a certain wine that you're going to the store buying that, you that's what it tastes like.
How would that consistency
mass produce the same
here
every year?
You can get pretty close to everything the same, but it might just be a little bit different, which I kind of think is cool. Kind of gives this whole Southern Illinois wine trail kind of its own uniqueness. And we're not the only ones. I'm sure there's other regions in the country.
It's boutique, it's handcrafted, estate, boutique. This year it's this, next year it'll be similar, but who knows?
But it also, I think, speaks to the quality of hand batching or hand production. Because I learned from one of our local roasteries that the reason that you get the same taste every time when you buy, say, Folgers coffee versus a local batch of roastery is because they essentially burn it. They overcook it, they over roast it, so that it always tastes the same.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's the same or if there was some sort of a production.
Very similar to what you're saying.
But that was kind of the only way that you could have consistency time after time again. So I think it kind of gives a nod to your wine that it does taste different every year because you do hand batch it and you have your quality control that you do. It's the best that grape can do for that season.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Some may win an award one year, and you do what you think you're doing the same thing, and you'd be like, what don't you like about this year? Maybe the judges were different, but it's like, I thought it was better last year. But it's simply, everybody's palate's different too. But I don't know, it actually makes it pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're all that way down here on the wine trail. I mean, everybody's hands-on. There's no mechanical harvesters out there in the field doing any of the work. It's all everybody's touching every one of them vines. They're bringing it back to their cellars and making it. It's a pretty cool process, really.
Yeah, that process is why I'm so excited you guys are doing the SI Made Expo this year, the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail, because it is just the epitome of Southern Illinois made, of just seeing, people out there in their fields just picking the grapes, and it's just like, it makes you take so much pride in the stuff that is made here in Southern Illinois as well too, and not to sidecar
we're
on that.
looking forward to it.
But it is just fascinating how much is made in Southern Illinois that people have no idea, and it's the wine trail, I think, has been one of the most visual Southern Illinois made products. And really, I feel like kind of creating the path for some of these other products and stuff in Southern Illinois. I've heard people talking about maybe starting a bourbon trail, or something like that.
Sure.
And I think it's awesome. I think it was started and spurred on by the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail coming together. And
30 years.
yes, that's awesome.
Right.
That is awesome.
I think it's definitely the bourbon trail or a craft brewery,
Beer trail.
Yeah, microbrew.
Beer trail. I think the whole area could support that
Easily.
I think so too.
Not every couple that walks through the door, a lot of times the guys don't want wine, they want a beer. So, why not have all that stuff here and spend the weekend, spend the week enjoying the whole area and hit them all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go on to my second, kind of a follow-up question, but my round 2 question is, do you offer or do you allow guests to come in with their own snacks or little coolers and things like that?
We do. When we were full menu, and entrees and, everything, we sort of, I always appreciated people asking and, of course, would, allow that. But we encourage it now. Yeah.
Okay, great.
In fact, bring their own, but there's one other, it's not on the menu currently, it'll be coming out, this season that we started last year. This goes back to the history. Like I said, our first year with friends, we came here as a group to eat because it was our first trip to the trail, and we did not know that picnicking, bringing your own was a thing. We had no idea. We were, virgin tasters here, and so we were sent here to eat. And going with the whole vintage barn theme, we offer barn picnics.
Oh, fun.
They'll come out again soon. I have the old checkered tablecloths from Hedman's. Has our logo on it now. I have antique picnic baskets.
That's awesome.
And then you can, we put charcuterie and, discount on a bottle of wine to go with it. So you can bring your own picnic, or you can come here and get a picnic.
That's awesome.
That's
and take it anywhere.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, so what do you got for us next? Yes.
Still hungry. Well, let's move on to charcuterie.
Okay.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to
Charcuterie. It seems like exploded in the last 5 years, and I still would much rather have somebody else make them beautiful versus me trying to make them beautiful. I'll happily eat them. But
I love charcuterie boards, and I had someone say that it's pretty much adult Lunchables, and
Yes.
I've never looked at them the same, but I'm
That's
like,
perfect.
I'm not even mad because it's awesome. You know, it's
Okay, we are going to move up to the peach.
all right, I'm excited.
Me too. You can swish and rinse your glass maybe. So here's another perfect example of how the wines change year to year. Our sweeter peach, has been semi-sweet historically. This year, for whatever reason, it's probably much closer to semi-dry. So our sweeter drinkers, they're still taking it. They still appreciate it.
Well, now
but-
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
As a dry
we're
wine
drier.
drinker.
Yes. So again, it's 100% peach. And just a smidge.
And
we
we
said
are-
back sweeten, but when I tell customers about the sweetened part, it's like not to make Kool-Aid, it's to literally just enhance the fruit and just take the best part of the fruit and just shoot it forward a bit and make it more explosive in your palate.
And we are approaching Southern Illinois peach season, correct? That's coming up, or is it a later? Is it a later summer?
June, July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when
So
they
it is a
start.
later.
Yeah.
The Rendlemans, they're a little more June-ish than July, aren't they typically?
They'll be
With their varietals?
There's so many different varieties, like the Rendlemans, the
And
Flams,
Flams.
orchards. They'll
Right.
plant so many different ones, so they'll start picking a lot earlier to get them out, to the store wherever
Sure.
they're selling them.
I guess we're more in berry season right now. Strawberries. Next will be blueberries.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Peaches they're just little bitty, barely a little anything right now, but
Okay.
when they take off, they grow in a hurry.
Okay.
It's kind of cool to watch those grow and turn into a peach.
yeah. So when you're doing it, when it is ripe to eat, is that when it's right for wine, or is it a
Ooh,
different?
good question.
That's an no one's. I don't know if anybody's ever asked that question.
No, that's a great
It's kind
question.
of my little secret.
I'm asking better questions. the
Not
more that
anymore.
we're going through
Yeah,
these,
I
I'm
don't want
like,
to give away too many.
I'm going to start a winery. I'm going to be the
I see
13th winery.
winery. So
Or a pickle.
when they
Oh, I'm always a pickle.
pick for wholesaling for selling, they're pretty firm.
Okay.
I let mine go
You can reach over me.
a ways after that, to the point where I mean our size is so much smaller, so I can do this. I mean, you could almost just squeeze it totally and pop the pit back. I mean, out.
Wow.
To the point to where, I mean, at some point they're starting to fall off the tree. That mine, they just, that last week or two, they'll just really swell up, and and you love going out there and grabbing one and taking a bite, and it's just literally running down your chin. There's no way to keep it from running down your chin.
Well, that's what I put on the label, actually.
But it is delicious. So yes, mine go a
Porch
little
sippin'.
bit longer than.
Sweet peach.
There's no way you could sell mine to the public
Memories of
either.
hot summer days and thirst quenched by a freshly picked peach dripping down your chin.
Yeah.
I'd say that's poetic.
Yeah.
It's a nostalgic thought
Yeah,
in
exactly.
your mind.
I think as a videographer, I'm like, that'd be a good video, just showing.
Oh my gosh, right?
Oh, yeah, it would be cool.
A little kid.
A little story about the peaches. We talked earlier about how we
Oh, that's good.
Isn't it?
hired people
That's
or
really
had
good.
consultants from
Just tastes like
off
a
the
peach.
wine trail help with the winemaking and the grape growing. The peaches, on the other hand, we were given a name, a contact from the university,
Oh, yeah.
and he's one of the. He runs the horticulture department. I'm not sure exactly what his. I should know what his title is.
From SIU.
From SIU. And
Dr.
he-
Brad Taylor.
Yeah, he came and helped that very first year right off the bat. And he'd bring students out, show them how the season progresses and what to do it. And then, of course, I was like sitting in the class with them. He was a big help, a real big help. And it was just really
Instrumental.
right up the road, which is that was a phenomenal resource for the peaches for sure, and the grapevines too. He came out once in a while with the students on the grapevines.
Yeah.
That was big. And they also have, speaking of the whole Southern Illinois, they have a fermentation
Yeah.
building
Institute.
there that is really picking up speed. I mean, I think they're going to be.
Is that fairly recent that they've had this fermentation, or has
I
it
think
been
for a while.
It has been for a while.
We've been here, but I think it's just kind of getting started and just never really got off the ground. But
They have a fermentation degree program,
That's really exciting.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And their facility they just did a bunch of work the last couple of years. I don't know if it's quite even finished yet, but it is super cool in there. I mean, the tanks
So
are
they
all
have
in there. You can see
testing,
the whole.
testing available. Anything and everything that a winemaker, a brewer, or distiller, whether you're amateur at home or you're,
Wow.
commercial.
Wow.
You can go there and they can run like I run a test on my stuff, but they'll sometimes, they have something way over my capability of doing it with the tools. But I'll sometimes take mine.
Or if what
like
you
my
have is
SO2 test or
failing
something.
and you want to compare.
Compare to make sure my stuff's working right.
Yeah.
They do it for the whole
What a
state.
huge resource that we
amazing.
have
Yes.
right here in our backyard
Literally.
It's almost
with SIU.
It's almost untapped. I mean,
Because we'll go to the state conference, for the entire state of Illinois, winemakers and grape growers, and they don't have that access. They could come down here and
Well, they do,
take
actually.
advantage of it.
They do actually. It
They
just
do up
doesn't
there?
get used that much. I don't realize they realize.
In the northern part of the state,
Oh, it's through the whole state.
Oh.
We just
No, I know,
fortunate
but
to
it's
be able to run our samples right up the road.
located here.
Yeah, they
right?
can send them in.
Yeah,
They just,
Well,
they're
and
far away.
So when we were at Owl Creek talking to Brad, he was saying that a lot of his employees are actually college students, and he's actually had some ag students, and stuff like that. Do you guys, I'm curious, with being new to the area and not really knowing anybody, what was the process like of finding employees and?
So, yeah, great question. And it's right back to the pandemic.
Well, I was gonna say during COVID time too. It was
Right. So when we Hedman's had great staff. They were everyone was typically related to each other.
Okay.
We could not have done this without them.
The Hedmans.
So without the staff that
staff,
they
yes,
had,
that
that
they
they passed on to us, they all stayed in the beginning. And that was life-saving.
Yeah.
We couldn't have kept going. So over time,
Richard crushed you, sorry.
yeah. And then, with the pandemic, that was, there's clearly the volume of customer traffic, that's the obvious, but what everyone's been experiencing since then has been the workforce challenges. So,
Sure.
that's been our life the whole time.
Yeah.
But we've definitely had SIU students and a good network, you're going to graduate and grow up and do a real job. I don't understand why you don't want to have a career here. But send me your friends, Yeah, so it's been that's been an unexpected fun is the kids, the young people that we've met, the high schoolers that have stayed with us through college and come back every year. And we call ourselves a barn family, and we are. We get all our alumni, previous employees come back. They come to our employee parties, Christmas
that's
and that
great.
kind of
I don't
thing.
think any of them are ever off the group chat things you do.
Yeah.
It's just-
Yeah, they stay in touch.
Why are they chiming in here?
They stay in the loop. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's really great.
I feel that in the times that I've been in here and stuff like that, and even seeing your guys' interaction with your employees and stuff like that is Mom and Papa Schroeder here.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have lots of adopted
Literally.
Yeah.
kids.
Speaking of families,
Yes.
number 3 question.
Number 3.
Are you family friendly?
Absolutely.
So, as nomads, as transplants ourselves, when we moved to Southern Illinois with no relatives, moving down here, not knowing really anybody, and then
Date
afterwards starting a family and having very young children, for us to still explore, we called ourselves the nomads. So we would just pack our kids
Haul 'em with
up,
you.
and if we wanted to go to a winery, we would go to a winery,
Yes.
and drink responsibly, of course, and whatnot. But that was a really big part of it. And I don't know, for those of our listeners that are outside of our area that does not have a wine trail or really this
understand the
subculture of wine trail or wineries, they may not know that. So. Can you speak to that? Is very family friendly, and do you get a lot of families that come in?
We do. We really do. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, we have high chairs, for that kind of thing. We have games, indoor and outdoor. It's very family friendly, and of course, we have plenty of non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, people come with their families to stay and enjoy the hiking and everything in the area, and we always have kids here.
Yeah.
And I think pretty much every winery is pretty family friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
We don't, it's definitely completely not like a bar scene.
Sure. And it's barn scene, not
barn scene. Exactly. That's what I meant to say. Perfect.
More of a barn scene than a
I might have to borrow that.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon to see a little kid chasing one of the barn cats around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which leads me to my next question, since some families are, instead of actual
flesh babies,
flesh babies
and fur babies.
Yeah. Are you pet friendly?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We even have our own come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
With the warning signs.
There's one that comes with a warning.
Public frenemy number 1. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We took pity.
That's awesome.
Very much pet friendly. There's never.
Yeah, we like to support.
Not in here with their dog.
Yeah.
It seems like.
And we support local animal rescues.
That's awesome.
Periodically.
That's
I guess back to events. So last fall we had an adoption event, animal rescue here, and we have no shortage of our own pets.
I mean, the ones that didn't get taken, they just left them here with you.
Well, yeah, there was that too. Yes, it's like, does anybody need another pet? And we didn't need another pet, but we gained another. The animal rescue last fall saved them all.
Oh.
One of them just stayed.
Yeah.
We should have had him in here for the podcast.
We should have.
Yeah.
He's quite the character.
He would have loved it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's fun. In fact, just real quick, at one point I was talking to one couple that had their dog here outside, and they're like, yeah, we found you on where can we take Fido.com or something. Have you heard of it?
Yes, because there is a similar and probably mutually owned website for where can you stay with Fido, or Fido,
yes,
take Fido.com or something like
yes.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
and
all of my pet-friendly properties magically appear on there, and I didn't even realize
you
that.
Didn't. Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess one of our employees put it on there.
Put it on there for us.
Yeah.
One thing I want to discuss, a different characteristic that you guys have as well too, is you guys actually have some lodging on the property as well too. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Within that, so in the manure pit,
this is a hard sell right here.
There's those plug-in scented things that you don't smell it. That no. But yeah, the basement of the barn has a two-room suite that was already a pre-existing rental that the Headmans used, and it's rustic, it's quaint, but it's kind of neat for people to stay. They're in the barn, and yes, it was a manure pit at some point, I guess, and it's really peaceful in the morning for them to stay. And then directly on the property, but just through the tree line here, we have 2 cottages called the Biddy Houses.
The Biddy Houses.
Yeah, and we have direct booking through our website, also peachbarn.com.
Awesome. And how many people can stay on the property?
So the little suite here in the barn is just really for like one couple sort of thing, maybe 2.5. Next door, the bigger one has 2 bedrooms plus a sleeper, and then the smaller one is 1 bedroom plus a single sleeper.
Okay. Are some friends of mine who was part of the band that played for sunrise service at Easter at Bottlenug Cross actually stayed here right before then. So Mr. Mark Fisher, who's an excellent musician.
Yes,
he was there.
very
and
much.
I'm not sure if he stayed in the manure pit.
They stayed in the manure pit.
They
Yeah.
did. I am excited,
And
that
they're gonna
this
come
is
back
on record
next
and
year.
I get to make sure to send this to him.
Yeah, back to, they're coming back next year for the manure pit
Oh, that's
stay
excellent.
for Easter. Yeah,
It's one of the
They
best
were
manure
great.
pits. Yeah.
they were great, and I think they had their dog with them.
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
Samson.
They're very nice.
He's excellent too.
Of course. My favorite, phone call is when people, can we bring our dog? And I say only if they bring well-behaved humans with them,
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a good rule.
right?
That's a good rule.
That is a very good rule.
All right, so we have one more
We do.
wine on the table here. So what do we got over there, Scott?
She got the name.
Oh boy,
This is our Eclipse.
themed.
We made this one for the Eclipse.
Shout out, yeah, Shawnee Celestial.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is from the Chamberson Vineyard. So obviously, clearly a red grape, and we had the rosé. So this is Chamberson that has been back sweetened. It is a semi-sweet.
It's been back sweetened.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So to sweeten up wines, we just call it back sweetening. So you do, just for a quick, the
Tutorial.
difference between a dry wine and a sweet wine is just back sweeten it with sugar. So you go through the same process with the wine, and then right before bottling, you will put sugar in it.
I just imagine you
Just
like
residual
the,
sugar to
whatever
sweeten it
the
up to taste.
salt guy is or whatever that does like that. I imagine you just over the wine
A
bottles.
little bit more.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Salt
Stop
guy.
right there. So literally, that's kind of how we do the trials. We'll set up trials.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we use, I'll just get, we all kind of, a little group of winemakers in the area, and we'll get together and do this with each other's. And you sweeten a little bit. We usually do set up a whole bunch of different ones. Sorry. All right, which one do you like? And then we're like, maybe just a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we're measuring it every time, so we know what percentage to put in there. But yeah, really, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's try it with. So here's
Yeah, what
another
is this?
Southern Illinois star. This is a jam made by Fired Up Jellies
Oh
and
my
Jams.
gosh. Smitty.
Yes, Smitty. All hail
Local
Smitty.
celebrities.
He's a magician.
Love
with the
him.
Jelly. Yeah.
This
I'm
is
gonna pass
his
this on. Touching your crackers.
dialed back. It's the strawberry rhubarb
Rhubarb?
vanilla. Yeah. Isn't there a vanilla in there somewhere?
Ooh.
So it's not as spicy as the other two jams are, but
He's in a lot of different restaurants as well
He
too.
sure
the
is.
Fired Up Jellies and Jams. That's another thing that I love is like a lot of the wineries carry like the Rendlemans and the Flams and the the Fired Up Jellies and Jams. There's a lot of companies promoting one
Yes.
another and stuff like that. You go into coffee shops and you see the Fired Up Jellies and Jams.
Right.
It's just everybody's.
we have them for retail here also. But yeah, that's part of the whole. At one time on our menu when it was fuller, we credited every Southern Illinois, every local food item that we carried that we actually served with our food. So Fired Up Jellies, we've had them for quite a while.
It does taste like a hint of vanilla in there.
Do you get it?
Yeah,
I thought the
I do.
vanilla was in there somewhere. Rendlemans and Flams, we use typically Flams strawberries. We have them that topping for Schoolhouse cheesecake. It's just a big name drop game here. But yes, Schoolhouse cheesecake, and then Flam strawberry topping currently. We'll get Rendlemans. Sometimes they're peaches, just because we use. Side story. People will come in and ask if we're selling peaches. If we sell peaches. And, after so many times of saying, sorry, no, now I say, yes, we do. Our peaches come in a bottle.
Yeah.
squeeze them ahead of time. and-
So, yeah, they'll confuse us with a farmer's or, a market sort of thing. But so sometimes Rendleman's peaches, we'll use for cheesecake topping. But definitely their apple cider is in our fall sangria, which is really popular. Really. really popular.
Apple season is one of my favorite seasons
Yeah.
in Southern Illinois. Honestly, I last year I made a peach cobbler with the Rendleman Orchards peaches, and then I was so ready to get back, and peach season was over, so I made an apple cobbler, and I'm like, it's a tie.
Done.
They're
Yeah.
so good. So it's so interesting because you look at the area here, you see a lot of rock bluffs and stuff like that. Me, not knowing much about ag at all or anything like that, I'm like, you would think that this wouldn't be a great place to plant anything with how much rock we have,
Right.
and the soil and stuff like that. But it's actually quite the opposite.
It is. And I was like you, I'm like, what is going to grow on top of those rocks?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was told, and probably you've been told, like back in the day, and whatever day that was, but a long time, like there was orchards everywhere. Like, I mean, we clearly were one. I mean, every place that's probably got some open ground, there was probably a family that had some sort of orchard on it, or farming produce type of
Produce.
things.
As opposed to
all
the
over.
traditional
Like even here in
corn
Alto,
and
the
soybeans.
old Quintal Trail, that's a hiking trail now, was an old railroad bed. And that was for everybody bring their produce and fruits and everything to town, kind of like the farmers do with their grain. Bring them to town, load them on the train car. I'm assuming somebody paid, I don't know how the exchange worked out, but then load them on the car and it would go up. I think it went down to Pomona, went downhill in Pomona, and then so I think they had an engine down there. And I've heard stories that engine would push the train back up the hill here, and then it would hit all these little towns, Cobden, and everybody loading up their produce and vegetable, everything else they could sell. So I mean, the whole area was like that.
And did those trains go to Chicago to sell and
I would
to
guess
just
the
more
bigger-
I would think
metropolitan
so.
areas?
Area, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was quite the story. Like, there's a house in town here. It's called the Potato House.
Yeah.
They call it the Potato House. And if you went inside and looked, it's an older house. It looks similar to our inside of our barn, and it's like, oh, that's weird how they built it. Why did they build a house like that? And it's called Potato. This is actually where this house was built to store the potatoes. Potato.
In the
You brought them in
basement.
there, how it's all opened up and everything, and it's like, oh wow, and it's pretty close to downtown. where
By the
they
train
just put on
tracks.
the
Right by the train tracks.
Sacks
Wow.
of potatoes to the train, I guess. So a lot of
What
cool,
rich history.
cool
That's
history.
very
Isn't it
cool.
It really is. And It's
Yeah.
not, from where we grew up in Central Illinois, it's like it's corn,
Corn,
and soybeans.
Yep.
soybeans,
Here,
yeah.
I say, wow, there really was. That's where all this stuff comes from. Not just
Yeah.
a grocery store. So That's
Right.
pretty cool.
I'm curious if you've taken any of this mad scientist knowledge that you've gained over time, being a former, or maybe not former, beer drinker. Have you gone into
Probably
any
not
homebrew or anything like that? Have you gotten into beer?
I have not
Okay.
whatsoever. Actually, she's gonna laugh. You bought me something for Christmas years ago, like a little
Long
kid.
before this.
Way
Oh,
before
like a
we bought
microbrew
it.
crate?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pointing on the other side, which means my little room over there is still sitting there in a box.
Collecting
Opened
dust,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we bought the place, I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. We'll get this wine thing going, and we'll just start doing some beers. And
Distillery.
I just haven't. I don't know why.
Hasn't got off the hamster wheel since.
I guess not.
Yeah, it's not like you guys are busy enough.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because that one thing we haven't hit on is that this is not your full-time job, really. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's one
Yeah.
of your full-time
It is
jobs.
one of
Always
our
full-time
full-time jobs. Yeah.
24/7,
Yeah. Yeah,
But
by default.
we both have careers.
Yeah, and
Outside of this.
you do real estate with Midwest Land
Midwest
Group.
Land Group, primarily land, land and farms, recreational property here in Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a nurse anesthetist, so I've been doing anesthesia for 25 years.
Wow.
And I'm a sole provider at a critical access rural hospital in the area.
Which we were joking about that before this, and one of the times I texted
Oh,
you,
yeah.
like, sorry, I'm going into surgery. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're like, this is the third one
Just
today.
Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not that bad at my.
Yeah. I was like, did you tell me something and I forgot? Like, and yes, you did. You told me what your job was and I forgot. So,
Oh, that's funny.
well,
I think I only had one last question with my lightning round, which is handicap accessibility / limited movement accessibility. Is it easy access? Would somebody with limited movement be able to come in? Is it easy access from your parking lot? Those sort of things.
Yes, and we've had a fair amount of disabled people be able to access. Headman's installed a ramp out by the front door there, so that's great. We do have a handicap parking spot right there.
Great.
And the bathrooms are handicap accessible.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And being naturally a wide open barn.
Yeah, right. No,
You have no trouble
nothing
there.
to really navigate
No
but
hallways.
the barn posts.
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
Just gotta watch out for the
Yeah.
cats.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
cat.
yeah. Don't run over a cat.
With the wheelchair.
Just the one.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Well, Jenny, Scott, thank you so much for
thank
letting
you
us come
so
and hang out
much.
with
Thank you,
guys.
Jared and Allison.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
We've got a great job doing this. It's been
Sure
so much
do.
fun to hear about the history, both of the winery, of you guys as well too, and see
Thank you.
the people that make up the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail.
It is. It puts the personality behind the name of the building and the brand, and you have a great business here, and
Thank you.
I can see why, because you guys are definitely devoted to it, and it's been an honor. It's been great.
Thank you both for highlighting the trail
Yeah.
and everything you do.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.